Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Welcome to the Lesbian News. Our top stories and headlines today are lesbian icon Suranne Jones is back in the saddle as Ann Leister, and Gentleman Jack gets a season 2 airdate. Lesbians have gone wild for the wilds. Another firm LGBTQ favorite gets its second season airdate. Showtime gifts the gays some filming news for both the L-Word Generation Q and Yellowjackets, and there's hints at some premiere dates. Apparently 12 million for 8 episodes just wasn't enough for the Sex and the City cast, minus Samantha, but plus Che. They're back for season 2, unfortunately. Grey's Anatomy sparks joy, and Station 19 does not spark joy. We're diving into the recent episodes and audience reactions. And Kristen Stewart is gearing up for the Oscars this weekend. Will you be cheering on our girl? All that and more coming up on the Lesbian News. Welcome back to the Lesbian News. Our top story today, Gentleman Jack, after a long hiatus, is back on our screens next month. HBO has been playing coy with the exact date, but we can reveal that will be April 25th. We'll be seeing Gentleman Jack back on our screens. Let's see what Ann Leister and her lovely lady have in store for season 2. And another LGBTQ favorite and female-driven show, The Wilds, will be back on our screens 1 month after Gentleman Jack. We're really being spoiled with content this spring. It makes this long hiatus we're going through right now seem worth it. We're going to be getting The Wilds back on Amazon Prime on May 6th. The gays at Showtime will be pretty busy this summer with their 2 LGBTQ juggernaut shows filming over the summer. The L-Word Generation Q starts filming its 3rd season in June, and Yellowjackets follows swiftly behind while they go to film their 2nd season up in Canada on July 4th. Showtime has said that both series will premiere this year in 2022. We can speculate we'll be getting both shows back the end of November, beginning of December. So keep your eyes peeled for some filming news, as the Lesbian News will do some special filming reports. Speaking of show renewals, Lesbians, Queers and Straights reunited last Christmas to all engage in one joint Christmas miracle, tearing apart the HBO revival of Sex and the City and Just Like That. Although critics and audiences panned the series for everything, including its own name, the show will unfortunately be back on our screens sometime in 2023. We should have guessed they'd take another crack at the bat, even though they'd flogged the show for all it's worth, releasing a Writer's Room podcast to further elaborate on some of their worst decisions, and even releasing a documentary going over the 8-episode season. One Twitter user called the documentary the most unnecessary thing ever. Let's hope the girls can grab themselves another 12 million, because Lord knows they need to squeeze every drop and dollar out of that Sex and the City franchise. Poor Candace Bushell, she's definitely owed a public service announcement to let people know she has nothing to do with this new revival. And before the rest of our stories, let's check in with our chief meteorologist, Miss G. G, is the sun gonna stay for the weekend? Thanks, G. On to the rest of our stories. LGBTQ audiences this week were filled with joy from Grey's Anatomy and rage from Station 19. Grey's Anatomy had Amelia and Kai finally going on a long-awaited date and ending in a steamy, not safe for YouTube scene. This was followed by Station 19, which seemed to be gearing up Jack as the sperm donor for Maya and Karina's baby. While a lot of people pointed out that similarities may be there between Mark, Callie, and Arizona, and even the real-life actress who plays Maya donating her egg to her best friend and his husband, many other audience members pointed out the fact that there is a world of difference between what is going on Station 19 due to the fact that Maya cheated on Karina with Jack, making this whole thing completely inappropriate. Let's hope that's not where they're going, as this has seen LGBTQ audiences being frustrated with one of the most popular LGBT couples on television. And finally, don't forget to cheer on Kristen Stewart at the Oscars this Sunday. You'll remember that Kristen Stewart is nominated for her role as Diana, Princess of Wales, in the royal biopic Spencer. Let's hope for a queer acceptance speech. And that's all from us here at the Lesbian News. Don't forget that next week we'll be going over the latest and greatest in lesbian and LGBTQ news, and also any LGBTQ Oscar winners. Thank you so much for joining us, and from everyone here at the studio, Miss G and myself, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.